Katt Williams just made some big claims about Diddy and Jay Z. He's exposing the possibility of their arrests and warning that more news is on the way. We all know Katt isn't shy about controversy, but this time, it's Diddy and Jay Z who are in trouble. Katt has always spoken his mind, and recently he went off about their legal issues.
They be having these big-ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Nigga, come here, come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Obi? Came out the closet, oh my God, a rubber.
You all know Diddy has been in trouble for a while, especially with the grand jury investigation and accusations of human trafficking. But Katt Williams is suggesting that Jay Z might also be facing serious legal issues. If Katt is correct, things could get really wild.
So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. Been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case, and we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually, he's going to be shown to be innocent. I don't know. The question is, why did it happen last night instead of today? I don't know the answer to that question. I just want to make one point very clear. We have no power. All we can do is show good faith. He got on a plane and he came here. It ends up being only 12 days. That's fine. That's what the government wanted to do. The government didn't want him to turn himself in. He came here to turn himself in. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. But we're going to make all these points again tomorrow, and we'll make him as much as we can until, we're appealing the decision to hold him without bail. 3:30, same place.
Will he be here?
Bail appeal. Bail appeal tomorrow, 3:30, same courtroom. He's doing fine. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, and he's going to fight this.
Katt claims that Diddy and Jay Z have been hiding behind their public images while being involved in some shady activities. He suggests that the authorities are getting ready to take serious action against them, and their arrest could be just the start. According to Katt, the feds are about to reveal years of questionable business deals, which could shake up the entire rap industry.
$50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need another one. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on you was accusing me of being...
Cat, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, but some of these people...
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. When he had to go on his hiatus, he tell me, Katt, when I come back, I need you. You my young partner. You my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. We gonna do it together. We gonna do some buddy cop shit. I said, Martin, you got...
Katt didn't hold back. He said that while Diddy and Jay Z were busy building their empires and making billions, they were also involved in risky activities behind the scenes. Katt suggested that there's real evidence that could get both of them into serious legal trouble.
When you were running around with Suge during the heyday of the death row days, did you ever have any interactions or stories with Aaliyah?
No, we didn't. Aaliyah was a little young. That's why I always laugh at, we all know what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah. I know in the 90s was different. A lot of older guys mess with the girls that were under 17 years of age. Talk shows with Oprah that we went through and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. Someone younger, I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. Everybody, all of them. No names mentioned yet. Going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay Z with Aaliyah? Not about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. That ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. We used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, ooh, that shit. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. All of these guys and the underage young ladies. And so, that's all I remember. That's all I think about. That's all I think about and I can remember about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my wife's favorite artist. She loved the hell out of Aaliyah. What happened is the Bahamians let her fly out and their plane was overloaded or full. One thing that I didn't like about when I traveled to our black countries like the Bahamas and Jamaica and all of them, we used to have to bribe them $100 to make the rules fast, to let us in with the dogs that we didn't have properly cleaned, not search our bags or whatever, or to sneak away with a whole bunch of cigars and stuff like that. In Mexico, one thing about the motherfucking Mexican authorities, that number used to be 5 G's. So cheap. They don't understand the value that they be having. Wonder what she would be now. Her, Pac, Big.
Let's talk about the key players here. According to Katt, Diddy and Jay Z aren't the only ones involved. There's a whole network of high-profile people who have been working behind the scenes for years. Katt said that many big names in the industry have been helping each other hide their scandals and keep them from coming to light, but it seems like that's about to change.
I believe it's a lot of rappers, a lot of music people, a lot of executives that could not say no. Katt Williams say, you just got to say no to Diddy. And it's a lot of people that couldn't say no. And they probably on tape because they couldn't say no.
So you think it's possible that Diddy, he got footage of rappers in the stash, just in case he got to use it for blackmail?
It's a possibility. It's not far-fetched. If he was taping Cassie and he was having Cassie taped and everything like that, why wouldn't he do nobody else? She's the only one? I doubt it.
Just a year ago today, Diddy was issued a key to New York City. Now, fast forward that year, he's now been indicted in the very city that once showed him love. Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs, was arrested yesterday at a swanky NYC hotel. But before a judge today, he pleaded not guilty to 3 federal charges. He will be held without bail. Now, the energy around the courthouse today wasn't as heightened as maybe expected, and this criminal case was a long time coming. Some just surprised he wasn't even issued bail at all. She was surprised Diddy appeared inside the courthouse that you see right behind me. Let's hear what she had to say. Your thoughts on seeing just this massive amount of people outside of this courthouse while you're here just for vacation?
And then you approached me and I knew it was about Diddy, and I knew from like German journals and television that this is happening, because most of the time, even with like famous men, it's held down and nobody speaks about it. And I don't know if he maybe gets a career afterwards. I don't hope, but yeah, we will see.
Through an attorney, the defense is reportedly confident in this case, as Sean Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said he'll fight like hell for his client.
This was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case.
So here's what happened this afternoon. Diddy appeared in this federal courthouse that you see again right behind me. Now, according to sources inside that building, he appeared stone-faced and uncuffed while at the with some supporters on his side, including his 3 adult sons, that's Justin, Quincy, and Christian. Prosecutors say Diddy is dangerous and used his power, authority, and intimidation to essentially get away with his crimes. Under the indictment, it says, The defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. The government argued Diddy set up freak-offs, forcing sex and masturbating during it. He also filmed some of those encounters. He stocked the room with narcotics so that female victims could continue for multiple days. He surrounded himself with and used firearms, including the 3 defaced AR-15s that were seized, 1 in LA, 2 in Miami, in his bedroom closet. Better known as Cassie, as many of the claims in the indictment echo her November 2023 lawsuit. One argument made by prosecutors was the victim sought to leave a freak-off and he assaulted her. The guard refused to be bought. The defendant tried to get the video. Now, this echoes the video that was released by CNN just months ago, where Diddy is seen brutally assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie at an LA hotel. Now, the prosecution argued the video disappeared from the hotel's server. It's not a coincidence, prosecutors say. The cover-up continued for another 7 years. The defendant denied it, calling it lies. This is what prosecutors are saying inside the courtroom today. Now, according to prosecutors, witnesses they interviewed have universally expressed fear. Now, while Diddy's attorney argue he's not a flight risk, prosecutors actually say the opposite. Now, they argued the defendant is a wealthy man. It allows him to flee quickly and without detection. But then his incentives were entirely different, and he flew to New York actually 2 weeks ago. Now, it was reported that about 2 weeks ago, Diddy was actually up in Harlem. It's unclear what he was doing there. And another shocking development, prosecutors say Diddy had what appeared to be narcotics found in his hotel room just last night. Now, the defense asked a judge for Diddy to be given a bail package, which would include posting a $50 million bail. Now, federal prosecutors say that they have spoken to over 50 witnesses. They have sworn out warrants for cloud accounts. The search has yielded 90 cell phones and 30 other devices, including a surveillance system, and the freak-offs were corroborated. Defense counsel took Diddy's passports, and anytime he traveled, they actually told prosecutors. That's what the defense says. Now, if you remember from our previous coverage here at Law and Crime, we had reported that Diddy was out kind of gallivanting over this summer, essentially. He was in Wyoming. Now, the defense says that prosecutors knew anytime that Diddy was traveling domestically because essentially they wanted to build that trust with prosecutors to ensure that he wouldn't be a flight risk. Now, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said that the March 25th raid that happened this year were frightening. He says that lasers were pointed at his children. They were marched out and they were completely innocent throughout this all. No criminal charges or anything has come about from that case. And they didn't want the raids or anything like that to happen again. The defense went on to say Mr. Combs flew to New York to say, "You want me? I know you want me. Here he is." Now, when it comes to the charges, Diddy's attorney argued there's one victim in count 2, the sex trafficking charge. Mr. Combs wrote a very large check to someone he was in a relationship with for 10 years. He went on to argue that the case is manageable. Pretrial services says that he has a criminal record, but he was acquitted. He's ready to do that again. He's here for treatment and therapy. But again, prosecutors say just yesterday, narcotics were allegedly found in his hotel room. They say the toxic relationship between the two, again, it's victim 1, but alluding to kind of the lawsuit that happened in November of 2023, you can't help but believe that victim 1 is Cassandra Ventura. But now he's saying that Diddy is essentially trying to be better for the rest of his days. If there's one thing we've seen, we should stand with people who are trying to get the help that they need. Mr. Combs saw it and issued an apology, and he wanted to do that. Now, let's play that apology video for you real quick.
So difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. When I sought out professional help, I had to go into therapy. So sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
While the lawyers went back and forth during arguments, the judge would ultimately make that final decision. The judge said in the case, "I find the presumption has not been rebutted. Also, coercion of witnesses, even gentle coercion, can be effective." The judge said the type of behavior we're talking about happens also behind closed doors.